Anyway, so I'm assuming you've listened to every single episode of my podcast several times over, so you know the format.
The format, yeah, I don't say shit till you introduce me, and then I lay down the law about Warcraft, you know. Hey, Rock,
Yeah, Gons?
let me tell you about the World of Warcraft lore and how absolutely great it used to be, and how it's not so great anymore, but there's been this new movie that came out. I think it's
Okay,
called-
that's enough of you. It's enough from you, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
I hate myself. Oh, I hate myself. I hate myself. Oh, I hate myself.
Alright, so Warcraft movie came out. You know, this is a video game movie. Wasn't very successful in the US. Made a ton of money in China. I saw it with my roommate Tim at 10 p.m. With a Fandango gift card that I got from Alex's aunt that we never used. It was only me and Tim in the theater, and it was probably one of the shittiest movies I've ever seen.
I can see that. I mean, just reading through the WoW wiki and just like all the shit they had to retcon, the fact that they have, like, say, Doomhammer, he's in this movie, right?
I think so. I think he was the brother of the, cause like, alright, all the orcs, really good. The orcs were a good part of the movie. Like, Gul'dan looked really cool, and the orc side was really interesting. And then they had the humans and the half-orc lady who did not give a single shit about the movie.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, I did look that up. So, spoilers alert if you don't know the Warcraft lore by now and you're listening to a podcast about Warcraft lore,
You're just like me. You don't know shit.
yeah, we're gonna spoil a lot of shit here for you.
Yeah, so if you haven't played the original Warcraft, which came out almost 30 years ago, you know, spoiler warning.
So anyway, the humans in this movie, from what I understand, are entirely irrelevant save for Medivh, Anduin Lothar, and yeah, pretty much Anduin.
There was the King of Stormwind or whatever. There was an apprentice mage who looked like he played WoW. And then there was the Grand Wizard dude who just kind of like fucked around for a while. And he was making a golem that didn't really do anything. I don't know why he was making a golem. There was one. There was like two dwarves, and they never showed up again.
Alright, so basically, this is Warcraft 1, essentially. You can see on the poster that it's orcs and humans, and that was the name of the first game, is Orcs and Humans.
Wait, really? I thought it was just Warcraft.
No, it was called Warcraft, Orcs and Humans.
Neat.
And this is, the backstory on this is, there's this world called Draenor, and there's this world called Azeroth. Now, Azeroth is the world that the humans populate among other races, which are not really, they're not really discussed in this movie. You see the dwarves, from what I understand.
I think they mentioned a gnome once.
Yeah, maybe. Like,
There wasn't a single Tauren, and they're my favorite race. Or a troll. I didn't see a single goddamn troll.
And there's a reason for that we'll get into later. But really, this movie just looks to be focusing on orcs and humans, and that's pretty much what the first game focused on. And how this all starts... actually, Rock, you just give me your account of the movie, and I'll raise bullshit flags or retcon flags, and we'll
Go
get
on
the
from
best of
there.
both worlds, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the movie opens up with it shows the orc homeworld, and it's all fucked up, and it looks like a desert, and everything's dead. And there's a big tribe of the White Wolf clan, I think they were called.
Frostwolf clan.
Frostwolf, yeah. And they're like, hey, we're gonna open a fucking gate. We're gonna send through our strongest warriors to go fuck them up, and then we're gonna open this up, and everyone else can come through because we need a new world because this one's fucked. So they're like, all right, we're just gonna take these Draenei, just all right, open that gate, go through. And then they go through along with Gul'dan, he has like these protrusions coming out of his back. He has like a robe. And he uses fell magic, which from what I gather is like a poisoned version of magic that like works like necromancy almost, where it takes the life out of shit.
Yeah, it's exactly that essentially. Fell magic is the magic of the demons. Mm-hmm. Pretty much the big bads behind Gul'dan. I don't know how deep they go into it in the movie, but
in the movie, I believe they only talk about they don't talk about where the fell magic. They don't even explain. Like, I know why there's red orcs and green orcs because of demon blood. Because I think Alex told me once.
Yeah, the green orcs are the big bads because they drank the blood. They are corrupt. They're bloodthirsty. They're trying to fuck shit up. The ones that are, it's because the green orcs, who they are, is just, they're just orcs that took the blood and came down off of it. Because they take the blood later on in the series. We're gonna hop to Warcraft 3 for a second. I don't know if they have Gromash Hellscream in this. I doubt it.
I kept saying orcs had that name in the movie because that was the only orc I can remember, but I don't think any of them had it. I refer to all of them as Garrosh Hellscream.
Garrosh is not even a factor in this entire lore for chronologically 30 years. So Grom Hellscream the big bad, isn't, from what I understand, a huge part of this movie. It seems to be Gul'dan and Blackhand.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
And so pretty much how this happens in Warcraft 1 and why this happens is because of a guy named Medivh. And Medivh is...
He's called the Guardian in the movie.
He's one of the Guardians of Tirisfal. And he oversees a sanctum called Karazhan. And if you've played World of Warcraft's Burning Crusade, if you know pretty much anything about World of Warcraft, you'll know everything about Karazhan. But Karazhan is essentially Medivh's sanctuary, his library, where he does all his magic shit. And since he's a guardian of Tirisfal, he's one of 13 people that the aspects... There are so many fucking buzzwords I'm throwing at these guys, I don't think.
No, I mean, I'm able to follow it relatively well.
It's like hard to do this without just like starting at the beginning of why this all happened.
Yeah, like if I told someone about Homestuck, I gotta stop and be like, all right, okay, well hold on, because these several things are connected between 15,000 other things, and I can't just jump into that because I have to explain everything else.
Yeah, let's just focus on the movie, then we'll expand into everything why the movie happened.
So the main plot of the movie is the orcs go through there, they start fucking shit up. They start one of the dudes, the main character. I guess he's the main character. He's an orc and his wife go through, and his pregnant wife, she gives birth to a green-blooded baby.
Duratan and Draka. Yeah,
Duratan and Draka. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he goes through, and then she gives birth, and it's like a miscarriage. And then Gul'dan kills a deer and brings the baby to life. He's like the first orc of Azeroth, and they raise their hammers.
Oh no! Did they give you the name of that character?
No, he didn't say the name, but I think it's Thrall.
So they didn't have him get taken away by humans?
At the very, very end of the movie, he gets Mosesed.
Yeah, that's Thrall for you. We'll get into Thrall. So yeah, that happens.
Yeah, they go through, they start just fucking villages up, and they're sending Stormwind troops. They have a really boring ass scene where it's you know in the Pirates of the Caribbean where they're not doing piratey shit and they're in France talking about money and what they should do. It was like that for about 20 minutes. Then they get out through a forest, and there was a murloc, and I laughed because it made that fucking gurgly noise. And then that was the only murloc in the movie.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really... I expected that from Blizzard to throw in the movie just for the nod at the fans. But anyway, let me send you this map of what Azeroth looks like, and I'll tell you where they are. So, key in on the southeast here.
Oh, it's in the south. Holy shit, this is a big map.
Yeah, this is the entire map of World of Warcraft, but
Who led?
yeah. So let's just focus on the place called Azeroth. This is where Warcraft 1 happens primarily. And like you see the Blackrock Mountain. This is pretty much what they expected.
Mountain. Yeah, there's Stormwind and Blackrock Mountain and all that shit.
Yeah, so this is essentially like the Dark Portal. If you see on the very southeast corner here, if you have a map of World of Warcraft and you're listening to this,
I'll put it in the show notes so you can follow along.
So they're in this Dark Portal here, and these lands, they were a swampy black morass, that used to be called, until this Dark Portal brought all this shit through.
All the orcs through. The first legion of orcs in the movie.
Yes. And this Dark Portal was here from a prior invasion, which we have to go to Warcraft 3 to explain. So they come through here, and from what I understand in the movie, they circumvent pretty much everything. Just go up the Swamp of Sorrows into the Red Ridge Mountains, and take the trickety track all the way to Stormwind, and they think that they're hot shit, and then they get blown the fuck out, right?
Alright, so they meet up in the movie. They start, because like the place that they come through is like a nice looking forest, and there's a swamp, and then it starts turning into a desert as they're using the fell magic to kill shit, and then start taking all these humans, like capture them and shit to use them for more fell magic bullshit. The people from Stormwind, they send a bunch of people out and end up capturing Garona.
Half-Orcan. Okay.
Yeah, and then they blow off Black Hand's hand with a gun. Which is my favorite part, where they just fucking shoot, they just fucking whip out a gun. Because, like, my favorite visual in the movie was when they had Ironforge? The dwarf place, right? Ironforge?
Ironforge, yeah.
Okay, that's the name. Yeah, it shows, like, he's just like, hey, what's up? You're a dwarf and I'm a human. Check this shit out. I made a fucking gun. And he gives him a gun, and then he gets like a paper, and then gallops around to Stormwind, and they talk about bullshit. Then they go get fucked up by a bunch of orcs, and there's like an apprentice mage dude. There's an apprentice mage dude who got like exiled for doing something. They never say what, but he did something to get like kicked out of the super prestigious mage school.
So would it be Khadgar? That would be Medivh then, right?
I think it was Khadgar.
Okay,
I think that was his name.
That would make sense. He was also a guardian of Tirisfal.
He was just like a dude, and he did like he went to Medivh, and Medivh was super pissed off at him, and like pinned him against a tree.
Oh yeah, that's gotta definitely be Khadgar. Let me just check what his movie profile is. Khadgar had like black hair and shit.
Yeah, he had like a cheesy little mustache. But yeah, they capture Garona, and then they back off, and then they ask her what the fuck the orcs are doing. They're like, hey, we won't kill you. We'll let you live here if you just help us get rid of these fucking weird green and brown things. What are they? And then Duratan is like, well, we were really fucking shit up here, ain't we, bro? And I forget what the other guy was called. It was Hammer something.
Doomhammer?
Yeah, I think it was Orgrim Doomhammer.
Yep, Orgrim Doomhammer.
And he's like, we can't fucking fight Gul'dan. He'll fuck us up. He's like, not by ourselves. What if we get the humans' help? And then they set up a meeting to meet in this mountain pass.
And this is where they named Blackhand the war chief, right?
It happens a little bit later, I think. But in the meantime, like they go to they show the tower, and they show Medivh, and he's like, yo, what's up? I got this pool of mana. Or whatever, I don't know what it's called, but it's like this big swirling pool of like blue mana at the very top of the tower.
Yeah.
And like he keeps teleporting around, and like he gets real weak, and he hops back in there for a quickie sippy. And then like he's talking about like the fell magic and shit. And he's getting all crazy. And when Duratan goes to meet the humans in this pass, they're like, yeah, we'll help you out. And then Medivh pops up and shoots like a bunch of lightning down, and then the orcs like ambush him and they all fight.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Medivh's like, hey, I'm gonna stop this. And fuck, what else happens? Durotan doesn't die, but I think Blackhand kills Stormwind's king's son or something, or the king or something.
What happens is, from everything I am remembering about Warcraft 1, is that Medivh, he's the one that opens this portal.
It's revealed. It's revealed later, and then he was getting corrupted by the Fel.
He's getting corrupted by a guy named Sargeras, which we're gonna hop over Warcraft 2 essentially and just get to Warcraft 3, because Warcraft 3 explains 1 so much better than 2 does, because 2 really doesn't. It's not too important, to say the least.
I think he turns into Sargeras.
Kind of, yeah.
That happens way late in the movie.
Yeah, so the reason Medivh is all fucking weird and shit is because he has Gul'dan whispering into his mind along with Sargeras. And Sargeras is the biggest bad in Warcraft. That's not really going to be a spoiler from here on out. Sargeras is the big bad. He is...
Is he like a demon king or whatever?
We'll get into that once we get into the Draenei, because the Draenei are really important. How much did they... go into that before they went through the
They never even mentioned the Draenei were from the same... Like, they had Garona the half-orc, and they never fucking said what the other half was. But they showed Draenei at the beginning, where they sucked all the life out of them and opened up the portal.
Were they the broken Draenei, or are they like the normal, like, regular Draenei?
They look... they lacked a horse penis, but they looked like normal blue people with horns and, like, hooves and shit. Because they were all stuffed into boxes. And they were like purplish blue goat-looking people. And they sucked all the life out of them, then they died, and they opened up the portal. And then that was the last you ever saw out of them. You never saw them again.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because they don't look like that after the orcs go through the portal, because Draenor, the world that's called, gets fucked up. We'll get into that later as well, folks.
It looked pretty much already fucked up.
Oh, it gets a lot worse. It's because they're opening those portals that the land is tearing itself apart. And so essentially Medivh, he is, I would say, the second most important character in this entire franchise.
Really?
So you're going to see a lot more of him. And he's responsible, keyly, for a lot of the bad shit with the Burning Legion, the people behind the Fel magic. And Garona, with her, she's supposed to be half orc, half Draenei, but apparently she's half orc, half human in this movie, which
doesn't make
sense at
because
all.
There were no human. I think it's just she couldn't talk either because she had the fucking things in her mouth. So she had like the laziest accent. She just sounded like an American in the middle of like all these people. Just talking about just not caring. I think that she was supposed to be half orc, half Draenei, but they were just like, we're not going to give her hooves. So they didn't do that.
Yeah, because Garona really does not make any appearances after Warcraft 1 until the Cataclysm. So she's really not that important.
She does one important thing at the end of the movie.
Yeah, she kills Lane, right?
So like in the movie they go there and there's a fight in the past. Medivh is getting corrupted by the Fel. Like, I'm not sure if this was what it was intended, but like is the Fel like making him think what he's doing is the proper thing? Because he went like he was teleporting around, he went back to the place, he's like, whew, here, butler, put me in this mana pool. Whew, alright, I'm feeling good. Hey, sorry, I'm gonna fucking snap your neck now. And then, like, his eyes were all, like, green or whatever the fuck. And then he killed him. And then he looked normal again when he went into, like, talk to the king. Like, nah, don't listen to Garona and that shit. We gotta fuck these orcs up. Come on, guys. And they went up there and shot, like, a big lightning wall down and shit. And then, like, later on, he started getting more and more green. Like, he would go in the mana pool and, like, green Fel magic would leak out and shit. But, like, was that what the Fel magic was doing to him? Or was that just an inconsistent part of the movie? Because it was really weird. Because he would go, like, was that what the Fel magic was doing to him, is what I'm asking. Like, was the Fel magic making him think what he was doing, even if it was super fucked up, was what he should be doing, even though it was blatantly wrong?
Yeah, essentially what he's what was going on with Medivh was the spirit of Sargeras. The spirit of Sargeras, because Sargeras at this point in the timeline is dead, was populating Medivh's body and using Medivh to communicate with Gul'dan to organize the Orcish Horde to invade. Like, Sargeras told Medivh to open the Dark Portal. That's called the official Dark Portal on the map, if you're looking at that.
Yeah,
and
he never did that in the movie. Gul'dan just opened it, but they could have been communicating. I think he was communicating with Gul'dan. That's right. It was revealed like very close to the end.
Yeah, Medivh is he's outside the Dark Portal channeling this spell. In regular Warcraft lore, that's how that goes down. So that's a retcon if they didn't have him out there channeling.
Yeah,
the spell.
no, he was like fucking off somewhere else. He was like in the tower trying to channel like the big demon dude. Like he was growing horns and shit.
Okay, I don't remember that part of Medivh.
Yeah,
but...
he was like channeling the demon dude like into his body from all this spell magic, and then not Aragorn. He looked exactly like Aragorn, and then apprentice mage dude like went up there and they threw a golem on top of him and it killed him.
Yeah, I think that was like a Khadgar and Medivh fight.
Yeah, Khadgar and then not Aragorn fought and beat him. And then, like, stopped him from channeling the demon. And then the portal did close. He was, like, in his tower, but once they stopped him, the portal did close.
Yeah, so the portal closing, that's a good thing. Let me move up in here into the Second War, because we do need to discuss the Second War.
Well, I mean, how the movie ended was, that happened, and then all the orcs and the humans were fighting and shit. And Duratan like challenged Gul'dan to a fight because he's like, "All right, this is enough of this shit. Let's do an honorable duel." And then like Gul'dan cheated and like gave him like a bear hug and sucked the life out of him. And all the other orcs were like, "No, we're not gonna listen to you anymore." And he, faggot, get out of here. And then he just kills like 3 of them. He's like, "You gonna leave? Pussy won't." And they're like, "I guess we won't." And then they just kept working for him. And then, like, there was the big final fight, and then, what's-her-face killed the king. She had, like a dagger and stabbed the king in the back because he asked her to, so that she would end the war. Because then she would be recognized as, like, the orcs' leader or whatever, because he killed their leader or something.
Oh, yep.
But yeah, she stabbed him in the back, and then, like, the dude who was, like, the king's son saw that, and he's like, "Oh, well, fuck these gay-ass orcs. I'm gonna fucking kill them all. Kill them all, 1998, Legendary God."
Was that Anduin?
I think so. That sounds about right. But he's like, "Oh, you can't around orcs. You watch yourselves.
Around
You
greenies.
trust them."
Around
But
the
that
greenies know their meanies.
Yeah, but that was how the movie ended. Golem fell on Medivh or whatever, stopped him from doing the thing, killed him. She stabbed the king, and then the portal closed with Gul'dan and all the orcs on this side.
Okay, let me read up on my Second War, and then we'll get into why everything in this movie that doesn't make sense can make sense. So essentially, who Gul'dan is let's go to Draenor, the world that you see that's really fucked up at the very beginning of the movie. Draenor has, at this point, I believe, been touched by the Burning Legion in some way. And the Burning Legion, we're going to have to get into them separately. Let me think of a good way to organize this. Let's just start with Gul'dan. He's leading the Stormreaver clan, and then moves over to the Shadowmoon clan. He is the first warlock and the founder of the Horde. And the Horde becomes the Tauren, the Trolls, the Undead, Forsaken.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. It's when he revives that baby, he says like the first orc of Azeroth, and then for the Horde. He chants that.
Yep, Loktarogar or something like that. And that's Victory or Death. And since once Gul'dan starts going down the shadowy path of fell magic, a demon lord reaches out to him. And this demon lord is named Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden
You can't kill Jaden Smith.
Well, How can you kill Jaden if he's not real?
How can orcs be real if our eyes aren't real?
But we're just gonna say kill Jaden. We won't go too into detail on him because we'll be here forever, like a fucking TV tropes browsing session. Kill Jaden. He's one of the big bads from the Burning Legion who is really pulling the strings behind the Orcish Horde. They're the reason all this shit is happening. And Gul'dan, he pretty much is like, hey, bro, I got this dankety dank 4 Loco. You want to drink it? You'll get real strong. And
get fucking turnt, mate.
And
that's right. He kept infusing orcs with fel magic to get them fucking super beefy.
Yeah, like they started turning red and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the orcs that drink the blood of the demon lord that the Legion sent down. Like he just puts his blood in the pool, tells people to drink it, and some of them turn green, some of them turn red. The red ones are the ones that are just fucking full power infused, not fucking around.
Yeah, the ones that go ape shit.
And the green ones, they're just corrupted. Like it's in their blood, they're going to be green forever.
I did like how when like a sword would cut a green one, he would bleed green. If they cut a red one or a brown one, it bled like dark red and shit.
Yeah, that's a really nice touch to actually do that, because they do have just like demonized blood going through their veins.
Yeah, because I noticed it on a sword after one of the characters like went and cut the dick off one. He like slid underneath it and went swoop and cut him in the. Yeah, that's right. The big fight at the end against the fucking big red motherfucker Orgrim or Blackhand. Yeah, not Orgrim. Blackhand. He just like everyone backs up in a big circle, and then him and the king. Or the king's son or whatever, are looking at each other like, all right, let's do this. And he's getting ready to fight. And then he just runs forward directly at him, slides underneath and cuts him in the stomach, and he's dead in one shot. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You set up this huge fight between these two leaders, and then he just one-shots him by running directly at him and hitting him in the stomach.
And that's something I really don't like about movies, about like RTSs, because in Warcraft 1, what you do to kill Blackhand is you just overwhelm him. Like
a bunch of units.
Yeah, like humanity is packing a lot of heat. They're outsmarting them in ways like using their magic, their rogues, everything. And
because you can't win them on a 1-in-1. Like there was a dude who held up a shield, and he got fucking smushed under the shield when he got hit by a hammer.
Exactly. You don't want to like test your strength against them. I think it's like a line in the movie: work smarter, not harder. And so basically, the humans are so much smarter than these orcs that they have to win, and they do. But the problem is, with the death of King Lane, Lothar, he becomes the general for the Second War, and the Second War, you see this whole entire Azeroth area. Pay no mind to Stranglethorn Vale. It's not mentioned at all from what I can gather.
Yeah, I don't even know what that's about.
We move up, and you see this great divide between like the Uldaman and the Blackrock area. This is called the Searing Gorge, and this is called the Badlands, just because the orcs just fuck around here all the time, along with their ogre friends. And so then we go to Cosmodan, and eventually...
Cosmodan sounds familiar.
Yeah, Cosmodan is the stronghold of all of the Alliance's dwarves and gnomes. There are bad dwarves too. And if we want to go into a little bit about Blackrock Mountain, actually, how deep into Blackrock Mountain do they go in that movie?
I'm not quite sure. They didn't go super deep into it.
All right, so Blackrock Mountain... That's just another thing we're going to get to. But Warcraft 2, it essentially takes place in this place called Lordaeron. So if you zoom out, it's going to be northern part of that continent of Azeroth. Mm-hmm. And these are generally called the Eastern Kingdoms now, but you can still call them Azeroth. No one's really going to get pissed at you.
I thought Azeroth was the name of the planet.
Yeah, the planet is named Azeroth, but we just call the Southern Eastern Kingdoms Azeroth as well, because that's what the orcs identify it as. It's why we call like Native Americans Indians. They're both acceptable.
Yeah.
And if that triggers people, fuck you. I don't give a shit. So this next war takes place primarily in Lordaeron. Let me pull up the second war here.
I see. I see where it is on this map here. It's above
Yep.
Casmodon.
And after the movie, I'm assuming it leaves with the cliffhanger of Garona killing Lane and Thrall being taken away by the good humans, right?
Yeah, before the big fight with where Duratan dies, he gets Orgrim to help him get his baby and his wife out of there, and then she puts that's right. She puts Thrall into like a Moses thing, and then she gets murdered by Blackhand, I think.
Yeah, Blackhand fucks her up. Doomhammer assumes the title of War Chief for
Yeah.
the Second War, because Blackhand's dead as fuck. And Thrall doesn't even become a bigger part of the story. He won't even be in this next movie if it's only covering the Second War. But in the Second War, this is really where you start to see what's going on and who's running this shit. They keep on leading up to it, but there's something called Beyond the Dark Portal. Essentially, in Lordaeron, there is this king. He's called King Tyrannus Menethil, and he is essentially the King of the North. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you can do that. This is kind of like that. And Stormwind is fucked now. King Lanestown, the Southern Kingdoms, they are in complete chaos.
Oh, here's the thing. Someone mentioned that Stormwind gets destroyed, but it doesn't in the movie. They stop the orcs from teleporting there. Stormwind stays. It's perfectly fine.
It won't be. Wait, do they kill the king and...
Yeah, they kill the king. Like, the king goes on the battlefield and they fight, and they evacuate most of the people. Like, through the portal back to Stormwind. Like, they change the destination of the portal to Stormwind.
Oh, no.
They change the destination of the Dark Portal to Stormwind. Like, they get, like, Mendileave, like, before he dies, he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna change this to Stormwind so they can get everyone the fuck out of there before they get slaughtered by these orcs. And so they run through, and most people get out, and then he closes it when he dies.
Okay, so yeah, after the portal closes, then Stormwind must be getting fucked up.
Well, the orcs don't go through it.
Well, the orcs don't go through it, but the king is dead,
True.
and the humans, they don't have their forces anymore. The orcs won this one.
Because he did mention something about not wanting to send all of his people, which he eventually did, because like, oh, if I send all my people, what about them fucking knife-eared pricks? They're gonna have all these other fucking people. I ain't got people anywhere else. They can take all my shit. They can take all... We're vulnerable.
Exactly. So the humans, they don't win at the end of the movie, right? Like, they haven't won.
Yeah, they
just
haven't
get
won.
away. So
The orcs
what
win that
happens-
fight there.
So what happens following this is Anduin, he and everyone that he left with, they go up north across the Great Sea. Like, you see that kind of little divide there.
Yeah.
And they go across the Great Sea, Barrett Bay, to seek help from Lordaeron because this shit is serious and the humans have never had to deal with this before. And the reason the humans have never had to deal with this before, even though this isn't the first time this shit's happened on this planet,
This isn't the first time, or you just mean the first time that some shit's gotten real?
This isn't the first time, like, shit's gotten real on this planet. Like, if you zoom all the way out, you see that entire other continent.
Which one? There's like 3.
Oh, yeah, the one on the very left.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so that's where shit has gotten real before.
Kalimdor.
Yes. So they go up to Lordaeron, they plead their case, say, hey, these orcs are kind of a problem, we need help with this. And they're like, okay. And they start a war, and pretty much they besiege Blackrock Mountain from everything I'm seeing here. They unite the human kingdoms, forming essentially the Alliance. And because really this was just the human kingdoms and the orcs before. We didn't really know about the Alliance. And there's towns of Gilneas, Stromgard, Dalaran, Alterac, and Kulturas. People listening to this, I hope I haven't killed you yet. But they unite all the human kingdoms, bring the dwarves together. both dwarven kingdoms together, and the gnomes with their only kingdom, because fuck them, they don't need that. And then they also have, and this is where we start to see elves for the first time, the high elves of Quel'Thalas.
We did see, I think 1 or 2 of them with the glowing blue eyes and shit. Because they were like the leader, like there was a few of them at like the high wizardry circle or something, like a floating city.
Oh yes, they do have elves in Dalaran. That's the floating city I think you're talking about.
Yeah, like they went and they saw the elves there to like talk about like, hey shit, there's some fell magic, yo.
Yeah, and Dalaran for most part just says, have some of my mages, guys. It's okay. Because Dalaran, they're a whole bunch of retards just addicted to arcane magic. It's literally like cocaine for them. And it's the same with the elves, too. Like, they are bound to that magic. Like, they're more like heroin addicts.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds more like heroin or crack.
Yeah, they are. They are fucked up off that magic. And so all the races on Azeroth, all the known races of Azeroth realize, oh, shit. We're pretty strong now, aren't we? So they assault Gul'dan, and Doomhammer's taken over the Horde and everything. And let me just go down here. So what they do now, how the Horde comes back from this, is they start fucking around with goblins. They find a artifact called the Demon Soul. And not the Dark Soul. 1 through 3.
Us gamers.
Us gamers. They find the Demon Soul. And they use it to enslave the Red Dragon, who's called Alexstrasza. And so the orcs pretty much have dragons now. And this clan becomes the Dragon Maw. And if you look down towards to see where the orcs have all this territory of Azeroth now, there's this place called Stranglethorn Vale.
Where is, let's see... Oh, I think I see it.
Yeah, like right under the country-looking place, the dark place. I wish they named the zone. You see Zul'Gurub in there and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they pretty much pick up those trolls, say, hey, you want to go conquer some shit? They're like, fuck yeah, nigga, blood for the blood god, literally. They go blood for the blood god. And long story short, the orcs get fucked up. And Gul'dan is pretty much out of the picture at this point. And they try, by God, they try to take the alliance, but they just don't do it. And then they run into some cultists, like some Cthulhu ass niggas. We're gonna get into them later too. Hopefully we can get enough in this episode, but there's a lot to get into here.
Yeah, we'll have to cut it off at some point, probably the end of this second war.
Yeah, for sure. And well, no, I think we can get 3 in here within 20 minutes. 3 is very easy to explain.
All right, yeah, we'll go for it. We'll go the extra mile, just for you, the loving listener.
Yeah, we are all here for you. It's not very painful, I hope. And anyway, so the orcs pretty much essentially run into some cultists, and the cultists follow him all the way across the sea into this place called the Tomb of Sargeras, where a very powerful artifact is being held. And I am not too sure if Gul'dan's carrying Sargeras with him at this point, but
Sargeras is the big ass super bad demon,
right?
That was talking to Medivh,
right? And let's see here. And when they go into the Tomb of Sargeras and attempt to, because this Tomb of Sargeras has been dead for 10,000 years. They have to raise this tomb from the water. They fail. There are demons inside. Gul'dan, he fails. He dies in there. Like, that's the end of Gul'dan. And Doomhammer pulls his forces out, pretty much stops the offensive in the Second War. When the orcs, they were kind of winning this for a little bit, because they had the Cthulhu fuckers, they had the trolls, they had all these
Cthulhu fuckers.
Calling the Twilight's Hammer is just so boring. Cthulhu fuckers is pretty much what they are. And these Cthulhu fuckers, they were following Gul'dan. So now the Orcish Horde is imploding in on itself, and the dragons are gone, and Doomhammer's kind of fucked. So now the Alliance, they attack Blackrock Mountain, kill Doomhammer, and let's see here. And Anduin Lothar gets killed.
Man, Blackrock Mountain is not very far from Stormwind.
Yeah, it's not. Like, they established their base really close, and that's why they have so many orc problems for a little bit. So Lothar dies. Spoilers.
Oh, no.
This has been available for 20 plus years. And Doomhammer kills him, and the Alliance takes Doomhammer prisoner. Doomhammer hasn't died yet. And he pushes the last of the orcs through the Dark Portal.
Through the Dark Portal to
what is now known as Outland, because Draenor is no more after this.
Oh, so the orcs are going back?
Yeah.
Wait.
Tyrallion Trump Lothar tells the orcs, you better go back.
But there's nothing there.
Yeah, too fucking bad. You took our kingdoms, pal. And so pretty much Doomhammer's forces get thrown out through the Dark Portal. Let me see here.
That's some fucking Donald Trump shit. Kick them back through and build a wall around the Dark Portal.
Yeah, and everyone that escapes gets to go through the Dark Portal. Doomhammer doesn't.
We're going to build a wall, and Doomhammer's going to build it.
And really, there are, I believe, 2 clans left at this point. The Warsong clan and this just Doomhammer people that would follow Thrall. And there's enslaved orcs enslavement, essentially, up until Warcraft 3. And Warcraft 3 starts with Thrall.
Where did Thrall end up after getting Moses?
Thrall ends up, let me go back to the map here, see if I can find the hills.
Because from what I was thinking, he ends up in Stormwind.
No, actually. So, if you go, let's start Ironforge, right?
Okay, I see it.
Follow it up all the way to, this is Arathi Basin. It's this is the Cataclysm map. And we'll get into WoW later.
I like the Cataclysm map at the very bottom where it's just a fucking explosion. Next to Bilgewater Port.
Oh, yeah. That's because Deathwing, he hopped out of that volcano and was like, sup, nigga?
I remember Alex telling me about that.
Eastern Kingdom.
Entered via the Maelstrom.
Let me see how good this one is.
What the fuck is the Maelstrom? What the fuck is Scrundle?
What the fuck is Scrundle? Okay, fuck it. We're just going to use the same map. So he makes his way up to the Hillsbrad foothills, which is, it's in Lordaeron, to keep it simple. Right. And he meets this chick who he, makes a bond with. They're about to try and make another Grona half-orcan, but that doesn't happen.
Ooh, baby. Whew.
And pretty much Thrall escapes, and humans are like, shit, this is definitely not good. And Thrall generally just starts finding more orcs, starts breaking more of them out, because when he's broken out of his prison, he has a little bit of backup, and they start following him. And he's essentially war chief from this point on until, Cataclysm or Mists of Pandaria. And let's do this. Sorry, this is just a lot to have to go on here. So, Warcraft 3. It begins with Thrall getting this message from Medivh, or Medivh. If we're talking about Deus Ex or Warcraft here, he gets this message from Medivh after rallying his clan, and Medivh's like, yo, you guys gotta go west. to Kalimdor.
You gotta go west.
And he's like, lead your people to the west or shit's going to get bad. And Thrall, he's a pretty young dude at this point. A little young Jesus. He's like, yep, you're right. Let's just go west. It's probably better than being a slave here. And so there's one more clan Thrall has to like gather before he leaves. Just before he leaves to go and lead the people west.
Yeah.
He needs to get the Warsong clan. And the Warsong clan is led by Grommash Hellscream. Or Grom Hellscream. And Grom Hellscream was a war chief on Draenor before the invasion started. So Grom, or Grommash, however the lore wants to address him, Grom Hellscream, he has seen some shit, and he really does not like humans. He really does not like humans. And
because his people didn't do nothing.
Oh, fucking Grom's people.
They're a bunch of good people.
Grom's people did do everything. Essentially, they almost fucked this entire thing up and have the world end.
They a bunch of good boys.
So Thrall just takes his people towards Kalimdor, hops on the boats with his trolls and shit. And
Well, why don't they just go east instead of west? It'd be much shorter.
Because you got to go through the Maelstrom, just because that's a hole in the writing that I'll give up for that because there's so many assholes coming up. So anyway, it cuts to that, and then we cut back to the humans, and you have Arthas Menethil, who is the prince of the king in the Second War. Now Arthas, or Anakin Menethil, as I would like to call him, he's still dealing with some stragglers of orcs. Like, the orcs, they're not all gone yet. There's like the little terrorist groups, the little insurgents, you know? And
little insurgents.
We're going on a plane. No, we're going on a flight because Allah is right.
They're gonna fucking hop on a griffin and strap a bunch of bombs to its face and dive into a building.
They have suicide bombers in this, actually.
Are they like the Japanese ones where they just give them a shitload of meth?
Yeah, actually. So they're called Troll Bat Riders, and they're hopped up on Juju.
Like the dude in Dota.
Yeah, Bat Rider. That's actually based off of real characters. There isn't a command in Warcraft 3 where you can have the Bat Rider kamikaze into a building. It's great.
Amazing.
And so anyway, Thrall takes up his stragglers of orcs and whatever trolls he had left. And in the middle of this, he picks up more trolls. And these are blue trolls. They're not forest trolls. It's very confusing, the troll linealogy. I don't want to get into that.
I heard a little bit, and there's like, what, at least 5 different types of trolls?
There's ice trolls, frost trolls, jungle trolls,
white trolls,
forest trolls. Too many fucking trolls, bro. And so he picks up some more reinforcements on his way east, but we'll go back to what's going on in Lordaeron. In Lordaeron, Arthas is just fighting the orcs. He's getting kind of pissed at the orcs. Gives up some character traits that he's about to be Anakin.
He's about to enact Order 76.
He's literally fucking Anakin, dude, and he does this. Like, let's go on here. So he's fighting the orcs, and he encounters...
Is he gonna go all? Are the orcs the younglings?
No, this actually gets really good. Like, I know I'm like talking about it bitterly, but the story in Warcraft 3 is very good. So you follow Arthas and his mentor Uther, and when Uther leaves to go do more official paladin stuff, because Arthas and Uther, they are paladins of the Silver Hand. Arthas
What's
then
a
meets up.
paladin? You didn't laugh at that the first time. It was a pretty funny joke. It was a pretty funny reference. Get it? Let me say it again. What's a paladin? Funny stuff. Funny stuff.
If you know the Spooning Experiment more than me, and you got that joke, guys.
Yeah, he did like a review of Ultima 1 through 8, and he was really pissed off because in the 8th one, the character's an idiot and doesn't know anything. And one of the questions is, what's a paladin? despite like his best friend being a paladin or something. It's really funny stuff, trust me.
What is a paladin? Anyway, so they're both paladins, aka Jedi.
Would Jaden Smith be a paladin?
No, Jaden is actually
He's a chaos mage, right? He works for probably Khorne.
Yeah, Burning Legion, we can really just compare them to Chaos and 40k. I'm just going to try and make as many analogies as I can for people that don't really...
Yeah. Here's
don't really
another
wanna follow
analogy
this.
for Warhammer 40k. A pile of dog shit, because it sucks, and it's not fun, and it's insanely expensive.
Yeah, don't play the tabletop, play the video games. It's a lot better. And so anyway, they got the paladins, they're finding orcs, and so they are trying to just proceed up the continent because they've heard some reports of just like some shit going down. They got to clear out some orc encampments, whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And so there's a bridge out, and they have to take another path, and they run into, of all fucking things that you would not expect, they run into skeletons.
That sounds pretty scary.
It's pretty spooky, I'd say. And they see skeletons, and they're like, what the fuck's going on here, dude? I've never seen this before in my life.
You've never seen a skeleton?
No, they really have not seen like anything undead before in their lives, and they're really confused as to why this is happening. And so Arthas is like, that grain over there looks pretty smelly. Have we been distributing it to people? And he sees someone go from just healthy human to a Zimbabwe immediately. And then Arthas puts two and two together, finds this man named Kel'Thuzad, who at this point is a warlock. Used to be a really good mage from Dalaran, but he's corrupted due to Burning Legion. And so he starts this thing called the Undead Scourge. And the Scourge is pretty much like immigration. No, I'm just kidding. And essentially he's distributing plagued grain, and even if you're alive and you take this grain, you die within moments and become undead. And this is a very serious problem, and Arthas fights all the way up towards the continent, because like you see here on the map, there's this place called the Plagues Lands. They were not Plagues Lands earlier. So Arthas is fighting all the way up here, and can you see Stratholme?
Yes.
Alright, so this is where shit gets weird, shit gets really good. Not for the humans, but it just gets good and intriguing. So Arthas and his girlfriend Jaina Proudmoore, who is a very important character later on, they find out that this entire city has been given grain.
The city of Stratholme?
Yes. And Arthas's first idea, he does not hesitate this at all. He says, "The city must be purged." This fucking prince, this Prince Paladin, who's supposed to be like the next in line, he's supposed to be king of Lordaeron once his father dies.
And he wants to genocide this whole city.
Yeah, he's essentially saying, if I don't
Awesome.
kill them, the Legion will kill them. And then he encounters the leader of the Cult of the Damned, as they've been called so far by Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad's dead, by the way. Arthas killed him. And it's just something that has to be glossed over at this point. And so this new big bad, supposed big bad, his name is Mal'Ganis. And Mal'Ganis is a dreadlord, the vampiric-looking dudes. And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, this undead scourge, all me. We sure would make you happy to kill me, right?" And Arthas is like, "Fuck yeah!" And Mal'Ganis is like, "Okay, so this city, I'm gonna get some recruits from it. Do with that what you will." So Arthas and Mal'Ganis literally compete against each other to kill this entire city. And Jaina,
Well, I mean, if he kills the entire city, he's just going to get them anyway, because they're undead then.
Yeah.
Arthas, if you kill everyone, he's just gonna win.
Yeah, this is the thing that Arthas just doesn't understand. But I guess once they're undead and you kill them, because like once you in the game,
Once
they
you
kind of-
double kill something.
in the game they justify it by saying, actually no, you don't even have to wait to kill them, because once you break down their house, like Arthas demolishes these people's houses, busts into their homes, kills them. Like, the game makes it look a lot less worse than it is.
Like, he just fucking strolls up in here and like, him and his legion just go in there and just fuck shit up and kill everyone in Stratholme?
Yeah. And he has to purge everyone else out, or else Mal'Ganis will have purged the entire city and be unstoppable. And
he doesn't realize that the dude controls dead people? If you're killing everyone, there's dead bodies that he gets?
And it's really, like, this is Arthas playing into Mal'Ganis' hand, obviously.
Yeah, what a dumbass.
Arthas is a fucking retard. So after this, Arthas confronts Mal'Ganis, is like, I'm gonna fuck your shit up, and Mal'Ganis is like, follow me to Northrend. Northrend.
Pussy won't.
And, yeah, he pretty much says, pussy won't, and Arthas is like, oh, fuck you, I'm not a pussy. And then Uther comes back and is like, Arthas, what the fuck have you done? And Arthas says, as your prince, as the rightful order of royalty, you're disbarred from the Silver Hand. Get the fuck out of my face.
Is that where... I'm glad you can make it, Uther. Is that where that came from? Because I've seen that.
No, that was from the previous fight, where Arthas literally had to hold down a town for an hour by himself.
I'm glad you could bake it, Uther.
Glad you can make it, Uther. And then when Arthas just says, hey, we're going to go up here and kill all these people in Northrend, Uther's like, nope, that's a bad idea. I'm going to tell the king what's going on.
I'm going to tell on you.
Essentially. And Arthas is like, I revoke your authority as, like, champion of the Silver Hand, and Uther's like, yeah, fucking right, and then he leaves. And so then Arthas takes the entire wrong direction. Like, so you see the straight line that he could have taken to Northrend?
To Northrend, and that is, oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, he could take it from his capital city straight there. He ends up, I would say, like on the middle in reaches here. Actually, a little bit more. If I can find Azjol and Narub, he ends up in a pretty shitty situation. Desolate, awful. Probably like near the Borean Tundra, Koldara, around there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he fights his way up here, and Mal'Ganis is just like taunting him the entire time. He's like, oh, you sure would like to fucking kill me, wouldn't you? Not gonna happen, buddy. And this just pisses Arthas off more and more. And at this point, Arthas has lost Jaina, he's lost Uther, and he finds another companion. And this companion's name is Muradin Bronzebeard. And the Bronzebeards, they're the royal family of Ironforge. So Muradin, he's pretty big deal. And so they're just clearing out the undead in Northrend because they're very well set up in Northrend. They get all their shit from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's something Mal'Ganis drops that says, oh yeah, if you ever find the artifact, I might be fucked.
Yeah.
And Arthas is like, oh, an artifact. What could this be? And Muradin's like, oh, jeez, Arthas, I don't know if we should be going into the artifact room. Sounds pretty bad. And Arthas is like, fuck you, Muradin. We're gonna go fucking get the artifact. And this artifact is called Frostmourne. And what Frostmourne is a weapon created by the big undead bad. Just, it's created specifically for Arthas. And they have Arthas and Muradin fight through these things called spiritual revenants that are protecting this.
Mm-hmm.
And Muradin walks up to the statue where Frostmourne's encased in ice, and Muradin's like, "Oh, jeez, Arthas, this thing says whoever picks up this weapon will be cursed forever. It's bad juju, and you are going to go insane." And Arthas is like, "People," and he just punches the ice out and calls Frostmourne to him, and essentially kills Muradin. Muradin's dead because he opened it.
And the bad juju just killed him.
And essentially, yeah, Muradin is blown the fuck away. And Arthas picks up the sword, and he's OP as fuck now. He comes back to his base, and his captain's like, "Hey, Arthas, where'd Muradin go?" And Arthas said, "Well, Muradin didn't make it. Let's go."
Why did you kill Muradin? To test my power. And then he uses his Sharingan, right?
Oh my god, essentially, actually. And he uses the Sharingan, and his captain's like, "You know what? I don't feel like getting killed by Arthas today. I'm just going to follow this. We're going to kill Mal'Ganis. I'm going to go home." And so he marches up into Mal'Ganis' stronghold, which is built up to be the big undead stronghold in Northrend.
Mm-hmm.
And just pretty much fucks his shit up, gives him the worst haircut of his life. And Mal'Ganis is like, okay, game's over. You're part of us now. So let me introduce you to this guy called the Lich King. And as soon as he says king, Frostmourne is cutting him in two, and Mal'Ganis is no more. And so pretty much the blade is the walkie-talkie for the Lich King to Arthas to say, "Hey, you want some power?" And Arthas is like, "Fuck yeah." And Arthas spends like the next 2 years just fucking around Northrend, doing essentially nothing. And then the Undead campaign starts, and we can start that later if you would like.
Yeah, we'll cut this episode off for now.
Because that's pretty much the end of humanity. That's where that starts.
The end of humanity.
Because we've really like established the rest of the races, got where the orcs are doing, like they're going towards the west, out the humans, they got some undead shit to worry about. I think that's a good stopping point.
Yeah, so this is pretty in-depth, considering you skipped over a lot of stuff as well.
I have to, dude, like...
Otherwise, yeah, it'd be like fucking 7 hours before you get to this point, before you finish the second game.
Yeah, like we could have gone 3 hours on Warcraft 1 and why the shit that's happening was happening, but I don't want to do that to you.
It'd be like me talking about Homestuck. Hey, no one, you can't do that on someone who's unwilling.
Exactly. Like,
you gotta ease them into it. You gotta just the tip of the lore, and then you see what happens. You know.
I wonder if I can game share Warcraft 3 with you, because that game I would say is an essential RTS, like required to play if you think RTSs are good.
I might play it. We'll see. But for now, we'll end this episode. I might get Alex in on the next one. And so it could be me, you, and Alex. And he can fill in the parts that you don't quite remember, and he can fill in the parts you don't quite remember. It'll be a little bit of teamwork. If Alex quits being a bitch and not wanting to stay up for 24 hours to record a podcast.
Yeah, why would he do that?
Yeah, I know. He's such a fucking loser. I bet he likes Star Fox. But yeah, Warcraft Part 1. See you in Street Fighter V, everyone.
See you then.